give a bit of an intro to my next walk, which is to an area about halfway along the overland track in Tasmania. I'm going with a friend. We'll be going in via the River track, which takes about 3 hours to walk, and we'll be staying our first night in Pelion Hut. That's mainly due to the weather forecast tomorrow, which is pretty woeful. However, it's due to clear up on the following days. So on the following day we will leave the overland track and head to an area between Mount Ossa, which is Tasmania's highest peak, and Mount Thetis. This area is very photogenic, with grandstand views of the overland track and surrounding mountains. In fact, it's one of my favourite locations in Tasmania. The following day we'll spend up there and then return via the same route that we took in. Yes, looking forward to it. There's a bit of snow forecast, so that might add to the photographic possibilities. It's going to be cold, but it's that time of year, so yeah, looking forward to it very much. So I'll do more vlogs as the trip progresses. That's all for now. Right, good morning. It's 9 o'clock. We're just approaching the township of Chudley. Very grey, drizzly, windy, overcast day. Not very inviting, but yeah, probably another hour and a half until we start the walk. So yes, still the forecast was expected, although I must admit I was expecting it to be worse than this. Forecast 30 mils of rain for the overland track area, so probably is raining a lot more heavily than it is here. So yeah, Mike's having a nap. Up on some Zeds, so yeah, that's about it for now. Right, here we are heading towards the River track. We've left the main road to Cradle. Stopped raining, still a bit claggy, a balmy 9 degrees outside. So yes, we'll be off the bitumen soon and onto the dirt roads. Might pick another 3/4 of an hour and we'll be at the start of the walk. So that's about all for now. GoPro stop. Oh, before I do that, I better introduce Michael. This is Michael. He hasn't been into this part of the overland track before, so it's a bit of a new walk for him. So yeah, we'll get his opinion later on what he thinks of it at the end of the trip. Day 2. Pelion Hut, which we slept the night in because of the wet and cold. We were being wussy, didn't get up for a sunrise. A little bit of colour, but we'll grab the sunrise on our return journey tomorrow night and the following morning. So yeah, no explanation needed as to what that structure is. Helicopter pad and a little bit of colour on
Oakley. You're just down there on the plains, over here in the button grass, there's some delightful little ponds which make for good foreground interest when taking shots of Mount Oakley, but so many people don't venture off the track and wouldn't even know they were there. But they make for beautiful photographs when it's a still morning. I've taken many a shot there. It's quite cold. I reckon it's 4 or 5 degrees, if that. There's the hut in the trees. It's really sited in the wrong spot, but I won't go into that. So yeah. Right, we've made the campsite in the little garden between Ossa and Paddys Nut. It took us 4 hours. It was bloody cold and misty. The mist's starting to lift now. So yeah, great little campsite, a little bit damp, but we'll make the most of it. And here we have the Hellsport ring-stinned tent, which I've discussed in my earlier videos, and Michael's christening of his Big Sky Chinook, which is a 1 kilo tent, 1.5 kilos with the poles and pegs. But the joy of the tent, which makes it a fantastic selling point, is it's got twin vestibules for one person. So no matter what way the wind's blowing, you can get in and out and cook either side. So it's great. And it's good for separating wet gear from your dry stuff. So you can put all your wet stuff on one side of the tent. So no, magnificent. It's a 4-season tent, not cheap, made in the States. So yeah. So we'll go for a wander this afternoon to line up our shots for sunset, although I'm not very hopeful, and sunrise in the morning. Yeah, a magic little garden here. Can't get enough of the place. Good morning, our third day. We were up before dawn, walking up by torchlight, headlight to this area, which has got some pretty specky views and some lovely cushion plants. So yeah, I'll just show you what I was taking photographs of as the sunrise came up. So yes. That is Mount Thetis, Paddys Nut, Barn Bluff and Cradle Mountain, and some very nice cushion plants in the foreground. A magic spot, absolutely fantastic. And this cushion plant here is almost circular. So yes, back to the campsite for breakfast, and a pack up, and we'll walk back down to New Pelion Hut and stay there tonight for our walk out tomorrow, and hopefully get some sunrise shots of Mount Oakley in the morning. Here's the spot Michael was taking photos from. He seemed to have picked a fantastic vantage point this morning with these little rocks with frost on them. Just bloody magic. And then of course the peaks in the background, just sensational. There froze overnight. Apologies for the wind. Mount Ossa up over the back there, Tasmania's highest peak. Mount Pelion East. What a place.
Right, we've got about an hour or so to go before we pack up and leave, reluctantly. So we've had a good sunrise shoot this morning. Michael got some great shots. He was in a different location to me, so he's quite happy with what we had. The day's deteriorated a bit, the cloud cover's come over and the peaks are obscured, but all in all, what did you think of this place, Mike?
Absolute Garden of Eden, Reed.
Yep.
Is the best description for a place like this.
Yep.
Certainly a return visit is needed.
Absolutely.
Explore it.
Yeah, now you know why I've been coming back here
Exactly right.
innumerable times over the years. Yeah, very special spot. Anyway, that's all for now. We'll take some more footage on the way out, and yeah. Here we are at the entrance to an old coal mine, probably from many moons ago. Who'd want to be working out here in all weathers with the gear that those poor guys, prospectors, would have had back then? They would have been soaking wet, cold and miserable most of the time, scratching a living out of here. But yeah, coal. Very dark in there. I probably need a torch to shine it in, but very low, so they would have been on their bellies crawling in there. You can't stand up in it. So yeah. In a very scrubby section to get down through here. Not particularly pleasant, but needless to say, the rewards are worth it. With a scrubby bit from our shelf camp up there. Mount Ossa poking its head through, and Mount Doris and Pelion East, and the route ahead through the Scaparia. Campsite at Pelion. Tents are very wet, well mine was anyway. We decided not to stay in the hut given that there's quite a few people there. We're a bit averse to people, we come out here to get away from them. Not to bloody commune with them en masse. Michael fixing the big sky again. Most impressed with this tent, as is he. No complaints, Michael?
No complaints.
Yeah. 30 years ago, camped here and we had a fire in the middle of winter. Sat around the fire drinking snow cones with alcohol poured over the snow in a cup. Yeah, good fun. I've never done that before. So yeah, tomorrow morning we're hoping for a blazing sunrise on Oakley, so we'll be up at the crack of dawn to photograph that. Right, here we are, day 4, the walk out. Just filling up the water bottles. Very cold, overcast. We didn't get up for a sunrise because it was just, yeah, overcast. No sunrise really. So yes, reluctantly walking out. We could handle a few more days up in the Garden of Eden, I can tell you. But yeah, we will be back. Magnificent spot. You would agree, Michael?
Yep.
Nice bit of forest to walk through. Lots of mossy trees. Fantastic. There goes Michael. He's off. No stopping him. Zigzag section of the river track, which probably makes it less of a grunt to climb, but it does make it longer. So yeah, a reduction in pain for a little bit of gain. Ugh.